We are interviewing one of the three candidates in Botswana's presidential elections, which will be held on October 24. And he is Mr. Duma Boko, and been talking to us about why he's running and his reasons for running and believing that he can defeat the incumbent, Mr. Nick Kotch.
I'm the president of the Umbrella for Democratic Change, the main opposition party in Botswana, which is made up of three political parties: the Botswana National Front, BNF, the Botswana Movement for Democracy, BMD, and the Botswana People's Party, BPP. These parties came together and established the Umbrella for Democratic Change, UDC, which is the one under which they will be contesting these elections. So the only challenge is the distribution of power, who gets what amongst these parties. So when we resolved those issues, everything fell into place. And over the next stage from the time we concluded, we have come together very, very well. Our members have blended, everything is now in place, and we are one formidable alternative to the ruling party. We're dealing with a guy whose credentials are questionable in every respect except his military record. As best we know, he's a high school dropout, the guy who doesn't want to engage, and where he gets to summits where he's got to engage and seek to convince others, it presents a huge challenge to him. It presents a huge challenge to him running his own party right now, which splintered, and the BMD, which is now part of the Umbrella, was formed. And in the lead up to these elections, there's been so much disgruntlement within his own party. He's destroyed all the structures of the party, and it's him and his small circle of ex-army men that are running the show. So he's that kind of leader.
How unpopular would you say he is with the ANC leadership?
They're not comfortable with him, and he's not comfortable with them. Yeah. My organization has relations with the ANC, for instance. This is a generation of leaders, an old guard, in terms of common interests or experiences. Them and I, we're worlds apart. So if I get into any meeting with them, I've got to discuss business and get out. That's just the way it is. There's nothing of common interest as such, except what we would put on the table. With him, it's like the same thing but slightly different. He's an army man who has not engaged. He's a cloistered individual, and he's also kept himself away. So when he gets into these areas, he has no experience in international diplomacy or international relations. So he tends to feel out of place. We think we'll win this election. We need 29 constituencies. We think we'll get the 29 that we need and more. And we have figured out where and why. So we believe that the prospects are at their very best for us. The ruling party has also lost the support of the army, the disciplined forces. So we believe that if they tried to play hardball, they may be nudged politely by the security force, the armed forces, to get out. So it would be in their best interest to basically just hand it over if they lose. So I don't think they'll be that stupid. I think they'll basically accept that the time is up for them. And again, I don't think the people of Botswana, if the BDP loses an election, will tolerate them. I think they're on the verge of losing whatever little confidence people may have in them, and it may become dangerous for them. So I think it would be advisable for them to just hand over power if they lose.